Well, in the 16 years that I've been in Lee Summit, Lee McKeegan North and Lee McKeegan South were basically baseball fields. They were it was home to the Baseball Association several years ago, long before Legacy Park was built. When Legacy Park was built, we moved the Lake Baseball Association moved all their games and so forth out to there. They still utilize Lee McKeegan North and South for practice space, but over time it became evident those spaces could be used to serve our community in much better ways. And so we work with baseball. We are continually working with them to identify more practice space areas. We have built some practice space areas for them to help pick up the slack from when we renovated Lee McKeegan South. But that space, Lee McKeegan South was our first renovation. And I'm sure a lot of your listeners have been out there. It's a very popular park. Not just popular with Lee Summit residents, but when I drive through there, I see tags from Kansas. I see tags from Nebraska, Oklahoma, from all around. So it's a very popular park, but has the adventure playground, has a nice trail out there, a lot of open green space, and we purposely wanted to keep a lot of open green space because we felt we wanted to have that space where the neighborhood kids could come in and kick a soccer ball. Somebody could come over there with dad and son could come over there and still pitch a baseball around, throw it around, and I'm happy to say that when I drive by there, I see a lot of that activity too. So it's good to see that the park is being used the way we kind of planned for it.
Right. When I moved to Lee Summit, really the only part that was being utilized where they were doing practices on the fields. Actually, I saw more football practices than I did baseball practices. But also just there was that little playground in the corner that got a lot of use from the neighborhood kids. And now there's so much more activity there. It's really been great.
I think it's a different kind of hub.
Yes.
It was the hub of the park system before, because that was where everybody played ball, whether you were playing high school or Legion, it's a hub again, but in a totally different way. When you moved the ball fields away, did you guys know this was the direction it was going to take?
Well, we'd kind of done some master planning, if you will, as we were in the planning processes of, hey, we know that this is going to transition to more of a neighborhood type park. We met with people from the neighborhood. We met with people within the community to help us with that process, especially when it came to the playground selection. That was a very interesting process for us. We went out and we did something at that park that we've never done before, and that was to bring in that large pyramid, zip lines, a lot more what I would term more of an adventure playground. We've had the traditional deck and post type playgrounds in a lot of our parks, but this was really kind of a step away from what we may have done in other parks, and I think that participation speaks for itself. People have fallen in love with that park. People talk about that park. People, you go on social media, they reference that park, the pyramid or whatever. There's some iconic piece of about that park. There's just something that they refer to. Usually it's the pyramid, but I think we kind of, we wanted it to be like that. When you build something, you hope that it's going to turn out the way you'd planned. In this case, it did, and we feel very proud of that. And I think the community has responded very well. They love that park.